son of a bitch. And he got done. I got one possible pull. Oh, you faggot. Oh, you faggot. One possible. You bitch made motherfucker. Chef's kiss. Oh my god, he got lucky. I fucking hate those discard decks, bro. That really just made me mad. In the 90th percentile, that's crazy. You know what? See. Start off with a mully. Oh, we're going mully. messed up. I made like 2 bad mistakes on that play. salty. Oh, he got that bullshit. He about to hit hard as fuck. Oh, but he gonna have that fucking auras and all that dumb shit. Oh, he ain't got the remix. So are you mother? Didn't hit one. Are you fucking serious, my god? Beer surveillance. That's what that one nigga had. That shit was piping. Success 4-4. You dead, bro? Might be dead right now, cause you might be dead. Yeah. Oh, you son of a bitch. Why is there nothing but land in this shit? Oh fuck, this motherfucker took away my motherfucking horrible. That's a good hand. Let's see. I'm actually gonna. I don't want to have to get the same card though, man. Well, I can't keep that shit. to the head. Now you know he dead. Oh, it's a creature, bro. This thing is trash.
Mono black aggro so fast they cannot stop it, man. Who's driving? We're bringing out a fresh new bit. That is pretty darn freaking good. And we have ways now to also like sacrifice our creatures because of the new cards. Gas Guzzler over here. This enters and gives you freaking start your engines. And we will be able to attack in a lot because we're aggro. If our skeletons die, we don't care. We just bring them back, either for 2 here or for, you know, just by committing a crime. Pretty darn freaking good. And then once we're on full speed, we can just pay a black and sacrifice a creature. If they don't destroy one of our creatures during our turn anyway, because they have to block, and we can then return this, we can just sack it. We can just sack this skeleton here that is a freaking suspect, and then we have the case of the stash skeleton to use as, you know, intended, and find something that we want to find, whatever we need. It only costs 2, so you can get almost everything here and still freaking play it. You can find your finishing touch by a second focus of the loss or a third. You can find your removal, you know, all of that, very darn freaking good. Remember, if you have the focus of the loss out and you use the bit of triumph to discard something, like for example a blood gas, something entered the graveyard, so you can return this end of turn. Okay, 1 life. But we don't care about that. And then you play a land, return the blood gas from the graveyard to the battlefield. If they're low on life, it gets even more dangerous. I think it should be the other way around, that it has haste. As long as somebody has 10 or more life, this just makes it way more evil. It's such an evil finisher. It can't even block, so you just attack with it anyways. If not, you just sack it, draw a card, play a land, return it to the battlefield, have your copies of the Lost ready. These 2 cards just make this deck so much better. So much freaking better. This being an easy sacrifice target for the Gas Guzzler is just amazing. And of course, I played my favorite card of the stack, Gonti. Gonti is so good in here. Absolutely, because you will deal so much damage with little annoying creatures that they maybe don't even want to block. Like, you know, the tiny bones or the blood gas because it just comes back anyways. Or like the token because it's a stupid token. And then you just steal the cards. Maybe they don't even have blockers. No, maybe they don't have that. Remember that if you have like a Forsaken Miner and a cut down and you have 2 mana, you can use the cut down to destroy the creature and bring back the Forsaken Miner in the same freaking turn. You can always sacrifice these. Like these 2 are our favorite sacrifice target. Then comes the skeleton, because the skeleton still has like mech, so that is still pretty good in the stack because we need to get in with the damage. And yeah, then comes everything else. Never sacrifice God. Whatever you do, never sacrifice God. We're running 21 lands. Adaptive Automaton in most cases will choose skeletons, but you can also go with vampire, because we do have these 2 vampires. But you know, they're 2/1s. Is that really needed? I don't think so. A 2/2, you know, Death Touch is just better. A freaking 3/3 Death Touch is also better. 3/2 as well. Like, you know, these targets are just a little bit better than the 3/2. In my opinion, that can't even work, you know? But that is just like my opinion. If you need to use them here. There's no worry in that because, you know, there's still pretty good targets for it. But most of our cards are skeletons, so go with the flow. Go with the flow is all I have to say. So yeah, that is the deck. Skelly, baby. Skellies are still so good. Especially mono black Skelly. So there goes the man for the bunch. I am the master of skeletal defeat. Now see you in those ghastly games. Okay, after a 4-hour losing streak where every inconceivable RNG did happen, here we go. Grimace! Yes, Grimace. 3 lands, let's go. 21 land deck. That means we have 18 lands left in 53. That's good. That is good. That is good.
I'm chilling.
We're against Prime Time. I'm getting rid of land here, like F you. Blood gas is pretty good. Yo, slivers are pretty good. Alessana band? No. Never heard of them. Screw this. So now we're getting punished for throwing away the land, I guess. That is just fine. Maybe a Liliana here or something. Bandit's Talent. Let's just hope we find a land, you know? There you go, never punished. Never punished, never surrender. Boom, boom, boom. Vroom, vroom, vroom. So come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. Attenborough. Another Bandit's Talent. I don't even have cards in my hand. Good game, you don't even know half of it. Mono black aggro, baby. You have only 2 lands? We don't care. We're aggro. We only need 1 land. Okay. You do that, my friend. I even have a freaking 4th land here. Lands, am I right? Cool Sparky. Okay. 4 hours of losing streak have just been broken in half. We can win now. Get out of here. Rockets Valandor. You think we will ever go into positive today? Oh my lord. Grimace! Yes, Grimace. I like the hand. Even though we have 2 tiny bones here, but hey. It's better than 0 tiny bones, you know? Maybe they're artifacts. They could be artifacts. Staunch crewmate. I don't understand, but okay. Like how we're on 4 lands here in our 21 land deck. Boom. Easiest game of my life. Easiest game of my life. Get out of here. No chance for you. Like, I also like the new art. 7-side marble. Seven-sided marble. Okay, I know how to read. Trust me.
Yes.
What is dark? I want that. I absolutely want that. Yes, even though the opponent's going first, which is terrible for us, but hey. Will they be getting rid of my gas guzzler straight away? They don't. Okay. Did not get rid of my guzzler here. Are they doing it now? Go ahead and do it. Another Corpses of the Lost is pretty cool. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Fine with me. Here's a Skeleton Boy. Let's see if they play Liliana here or nay. Unstoppable Slasher. That is kind of a problem for us.
Is that?
Are you on the camera?
But we'll have to
Yeah, I can
explore
turn it
if
off.
I can. Getting the first 7.
insane. Oh shit, that the right one.
You have to surveil an untapped land to the top. Do I have to? Okay. And for one and a tap, you remove a wish counter to search your library for a card, put it in your hand, and then shuffle. An opponent gains control of this. Activate only during your turn. Giving this over to the opponent, not a really great idea, but we have tricks around that. For example, if we use Wish Claw to go fetch a temporary lockdown, we then lock down the board and the Wish Claw talisman, and it returns to the battlefield under our control if something happens to the lockdown. So this deck does a lot of lockdown shenanigans. Late in the format, before Aethergriff released, I found a lot of fun with temporary lockdown and bargain with the cards like Rowan's Grim Search, unlocking cards like Clayfire Bricks to keep gaining us life and put lands in our hand, which helped us a lot against Hopeless Nightmare style decks. Now we add Wish Claw to the list, and we can fetch up all the right cards for all the right moment. The number one target for me in this deck that gets Ketramos to a whole new level with Wish Claw Talisman is Rest in Peace. This is an enchantment that enters and exiles all graveyards. Often this can exile 7 cards on its own, which lets your Ketramos start attacking and blocking while also drawing a card in the process. It also says if a card or token would be put in a graveyard from anywhere, you exile it instead. So, if on your turn you exile something because Rest in Peace is on the battlefield by trying to send it to the graveyard, you will then draw a card with Ketramos, as long as it's coming from the battlefield. Some examples of cards that get exiled from the battlefield when you have a Rest in Peace on the board include Fable Passage. How about you sack your Fable Passage, exile it to Rest in Peace, and draw a card from Ketramos? That's cool. How about Demolition Field? Say you sacrifice this targeting an opponent's land. Your Demolition Field will get exiled. You will draw. But in a separate instance, the Demolition Field will destroy the opponent's land, and then you will draw another card. So what's better than Demolition Field? How about Demolition Field with draw 2 cards attached to it? Amazing! And your Rest in Peace can also enter and re-enter the battlefield, exiling graveyards again and again, with the lockdown breaking loop that we already showed. By the way, 4 copies of Soul Partition also help keep the lockdown loop going. This is very much a lockdown loop deck, but there are also exile removal effects. So if you use Soul Partition and Anoint with Affliction, while the Ketramos is on the field, you also get to draw cards. Deadly Cover-Up can exile cards from your graveyard, which can trigger Ketramos. And we also have all these other fetchable 1-0s. Momentum Breaker is your new edict with Start Your Engines that can gain life equal to your speed. This is really nice to release with your own lockdowns. Nowhere to Run. Probably unsurprising that releasing this from your lockdowns is very, very good. Cease and Desist. A way to destroy all artifacts and enchantments in Desist, while a way to interact with graveyards and draw some cards with Ketramos in Cease. Caretaker's Talent, or Block, unless they're on, is a legendary god in black and white, and this card on its own creates this brand new exile control archetype that I've had a lot of fun with so far. It's a 4/4 menace lifelink indestructible creature. Yeah, they're still out there figuring it out that it has indestructible, and it's so cool. And this can't attack or block unless there are 7 or more cards in exile. So, exiling things, we can do that. I've got a lot of ways. I will show you how. It also has the most beautiful line of text a god has ever had. Whenever 1 or more cards are put into exile from graveyards and or the battlefield during your turn, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Yes, Every time we exile something from the battlefield or the graveyard, we draw a card. It's a little card advantage engine machine in the vein of Caretaker's Talent or Up the Beanstalk. But we are rewarded for exiling things, and there's a number of very cool ways to exile things in this deck. But you might notice this isn't the usual CGB pile of like 4 of 5 or 6 cards, you know, the usual best of 1 consistency. No, we have a toolbox approach here. We have a bunch of tutorable cards for the right situations, and we have cool ways to get them. Let's go line by line down our tutor targets. And the way that we tutor them up is we have Wishclaw Talisman in the deck. I'm really excited to play this Wishclaw Talisman tech. This is an artifact that has 3 wish counters on it, and for 1 and a tap, you remove a wish counter to search your library for a card, put it in your hand, and then shuffle. An opponent gains control of this. Activate only during your turn. Giving this over to the opponent, not a really great idea, but we have tricks around that. For example, if we use Wishclaw to go fetch a temporary lockdown, we then lock down the board and the Wishclaw Talisman, and it returns to the battlefield under our control if something happens to the lockdown. So this deck does a lot of lockdown shenanigans. Late in the format, before Aethergriff released, I found a lot of fun with temporary lockdown and bargain with the cards like Rowan's Grim Search, unlocking cards like Clayfire Bricks to keep gaining us life and put lands in our hand, which helped us a lot against Hopeless Nightmare style decks. Now we added Wishclaw to the list, and we can fetch up all the right cards for all the right moment. The number 1 target for me in this deck that gets Ketramos to a whole new level with Wishclaw Talisman is Rest in Peace. This is an enchantment that enters and exiles all graveyards. Often this can exile 7 cards on its own, which lets your Ketramos start attacking and blocking, while also drawing a card in the process. It also says that the card token will be put in the graveyard from anywhere. You exile it instead. So, if on your turn you exile something because Rest in Peace is on the battlefield by trying to send it to the graveyard, you will then draw a card with Ketramos, as long as it's coming from the battlefield. Some examples of cards that get exiled from the battlefield when you have a Rest in Peace on the board include Fable Passage. How about you sack your Fable Passage, exile it to Rest in Peace, and draw a card from Ketramos? That's cool. How about Demolition Field? Say you sacrifice this, targeting an opponent's land. Your Demolition Field will get exiled. You will draw. But in a separate instance, the Demolition Field will destroy the opponent's land, and then you will draw another card. So what's better than Demolition Field? How about Demolition Field with draw 2 cards attached to it? Amazing! And your Rest in Peace can also enter and re-enter the battlefield, exiling graveyards again and again, with the lockdown breaking loop that we already showed. By the way, 4 copies of Soul Partition also help keep the lockdown loop going. This is very much a lockdown loop deck, but there are also exile removal effects. So if you use Soul Partition and Anoint with Affliction, while the Ketramos is on the field, you also get to draw cards. Deadly Cover Up can exile cards from your graveyard, which can trigger Ketramos. And we also have all these other fetchable one-offs. Momentum Breaker is the new edict with Start Your Engines that can gain life equal to your speed. This is really nice to release with your own lockdowns. Nowhere to Run. Probably unsurprising that releasing this from your lockdowns is very, very good. Cease and Desist. A way to destroy all artifacts and enchantments in Desist, while a way to interact with graveyards and draw some cards with Ketramos in Cease. Very nice. The Stone Brain. When you exile this from the battlefield, you draw a card with Ketramos, and if you also hit a card in the graveyard, you draw again if there's one of these cards that you name in the opponent's graveyard. You also get to completely exile 4 copies of something from the opponent's deck, which can mean hitting their key card. If you're in a mirror, you can get the Ketramos. If you're up against a Reanimator deck, you can go get their Squirming Emergence. Like, there's a lot you can do with the Stone Brain. You can totally wreck combos. It's pretty good. Then we have Urza's Silex. This is a way to destroy the whole battlefield and also search up your 1 Planeswalker, Kaya Spirit's Justice. Urza's Silex exiles itself from the battlefield, which draws you that sweet, sweet card, and it can blow up Planeswalkers, so it can clear a whole board full of stuff. One scroll shift is something you can fetch with your talisman to then scroll shift a lockdown to get another trigger and do the whole loopy thing again. Maybe reset your talisman. And one Legion to Ashes, which also works in the way with Anoint with Affliction and Soul Partition do with Ketramos to draw cards. Kaya is also perfect in this deck because the +2 says Surveil 2, then exile a card from the graveyard. So while you're plussing, you can also be drawing with Ketramos. Ketramos, 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 Ketramos. We have a black-white control deck that draws a ton of cards and exiles everything your opponents have ever loved. Yes, you're welcome. Let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. The opponent goes first, but we have a little bit of everything, so I think this is a keeper. Hippo Avatar, Kaido Sleeves, no pet. What clues do we have? Oh, there's the pet. It's a beholder. Yeah, definitely demure. They want to chat? How about you make plays? Okay. I want to play my deck. We can take away their... I think the petition we probably like to... That or else a big passage and just hit our lands. I think we do that. But Stone Brain can take away Nowhere to Run. No, that's not it. It's This Town Ain't Big Enough. That's the card. And then that takes away their main ability to interact with our temporary lockdowns once we find them. Okay, make me discard again. Yep. Infinibrain. Okay, the bricks we love. We love to get the bricks going. Because once we get our lockdown loops going, that's how we gain life to keep up with the nightmares. Oh, they play white. Okay, it's not exactly the deck I built. They're gonna go ISO, yeah, make me discard, yeah, same thing. Same thing. This time, Partition, I think? I don't know, maybe the Stone Brain is too ambitious. Maybe we're never gonna spend mana on this. Because we're going to be under pressure. I don't want to give up on it yet, though. Here's our... I was going to say our commander. Basically the commander of this deck. They have very few good ways to kill it, but they do have Momentum Breaker. Okay, that's their whole hand. That's good for us. That's a lockdown. That's great for us. Hide. Hand it over. All of it. And I draw. And now we just need time. We just need time to hit the land, hit the Stone Brain, and get This Town Ain't Big Enough out of their deck permanently. We got the life, here's the brain. And once the brain hits, that's 4 cards in exile. Actually 5, including the brain itself. Uh-oh. Did they already have it? Oh my god. Well, on the bright side, I can't believe they just drew it when they needed it, but isn't that how it goes? I'm gonna get them. I'm getting those this towns. Dude, if they drew another one and that's what they're holding right here, I'm gonna be so mad. Okay, just a land. Get those out. Alright, we're looking at Shelter by Ghosts is another way that they can remove the lockdown, but that's pretty easy to get back. The rest of this is the typical Pixie stuff. Nothing we can't deal with. Oh, they even have the emoji. Good for thems. They're trying to make me discard my last card. Do we sacrifice this? Give them back all those nightmares? It's their turn, right? So theirs theirs will resolve first? It's a good question. Because we would definitely need to hit another one, but we're gonna get the lands with the bricks, and then they're gonna make me discard like 3, and this is on the stack, then this resolves, then I discard the last card.
I don't even know if that was like a good one.
Because it's on their turn, theirs should resolve first, right? No, mine resolve? Oh, no, mine resolve first. My bad. So we just don't take this, because we just discard it. So they get nothing for that, and then we dig, and we hit a scroll shift, and we hit another search. What are we discarding here? Put 2 on top of the deck, and then we draw. Do I just bin all this? I think I keep another draw too. There we go. And they probably dig. Two to the bottom is fine, so this is a raw top deck as they try to find another momentum breaker or a way to bounce these without this counting big enough. And of course, a land, yes, keep it coming. That's what we need to see. We go to 9. We're gonna bargain this one. We're looking for exile effects. Silex. Whew. This gets locked down though, and then this kills stuff. Although this game's life. All right, these. Hand them over a wish claw. Get a lockdown. Cast a lockdown. Exile a lot of things. Without this town, I think we're in a much better position. They need a creature and a shelter by ghosts. And now we're gaining life. Another land is beautiful. We love that. Alright, 3 more hits. There is a bricks down there. So we can flip this, and it does exile, so that draws a card. Why, that's to my right. Yes. Yeah, you're right. Look at that trick. Isn't that a cool trick? Card from graveyard, that's 2 triggers. Our own momentum is broken. I think I still hold this for a discard effect. And show me the land. Shuffler on our side today. And that's the game. Oh, feels good to grind the pixie deck out. We know they would have drawn all of this town ain't big enough if we hadn't stone-brained them, so they drew land instead. Another demure-ish appearing avatar. 4 lands is a lot. Let's not draw too many more.
G.
Temple of Malice. A tap land red-black deck. Maybe this is a new deck. Louis. Phantom Breaker. And then we can use a Lockdown, which will kill the Massacre Worm, leave them with a Storm. That's pretty bad. Oh, let's start with this. This is a card draw because we have Rest in Peace on the field. And we also could just detonate the Silex, right? There's a deadly cover-up. That's pretty nice. Oh, we drew the Swamp. I didn't even notice that. Okay, let's hand them an empty Talisman. Let's get the deadly cover-up. Let's blow up their friends. Draw a card. And swing for 4. And they have an empty Talisman. They can't hurt us with it. Alright. Can their deck still do anything with so much exiled? They're looking at the Talisman. They want to use it. I don't think that's going to work. That's another demolition field, so that can be more card draw. But I think what I really want to do is transform the bricks here. So that will exile 2 different things, which is 2 different card draws. Isn't that awesome? Opponent trying to grasp the power. So the bricks flips it into an artifact that gives all my creatures a bonus and makes 2 1/1s. And we might find out that the opponent is holding things like Cut Down. That would make a lot of sense to me. It could also be reanimation spells, though. Yep, still indestructible. Still a heck of a card to deal with. And the opponent's going to drop to 4. 1 more hit. As we continue to discard to hand size. Basically, a reward for being too awesome. That's how you look at discarding to hand size in Standard. Beep, beep. Okay. I wonder, like, are they plotting over there? Do they have a way out of this? They have passed the turn. I combat you. Yeah, here comes the cut down, yep. Uh-huh, you got it. What else you got? Anytime. It's a unfathomable card, I understand. Okay, yep. Gotta check for a bug, but there isn't one. Indestructible still works. And that was an Atrox, so that got discarded. Yeah. Reanimator deck got absolutely hosed by Rest in Peace on this day. It's nice to have main deck graveyard hate that you can find when you need it. Pretty amazing. Enough tea. Who's ever heard of such a thing? Running an Olivia Avatar. We've got lockdowns, so bring on the creature decks. Being on the draw is scary, though. It's a scary world. No turn 1 creature. And then you wonder, will lockdown even be good? 3 soul partitions. Wow. And a Holy Annex? That's gotta go. Nope. That's a really good card. Away with you. Alright, let's run out our god. Ketramos. We'll see if they have a Liliana, some kind of an edict just ready to go here. Exile. That works. And they are stuck on lands, which is good for us for now, but they top decked one. And Slasher. It does feel like they have a cut down, doesn't it? So let's hold. If they have a cut down, they're going to use it in response to the Anoint with Affliction. So we want to mess with their mana. We want them to do it on their turn. A turn where the Slasher would attack. Okay, we get a Bricks. That's great. We get to hit our land draw. And we have something on the board for Lockdown to eat up. Man. They're not going to convince me anytime soon that they don't have a cut down. And there's a land. Uh-huh. So now they cut down the Slasher. They're lucky they drew that land or it was going to really throw them off. Opponent getting luckier than me with these land drops. But we can get rid of this now. And we can hold. And they're going for the room. Let's exile the Bloodletter. Could have also taken out the Annex. I don't know if it matters too much. Oh man, these draws are hurting me. Oh, it's stinging. Another Slasher, sure. We wait on nowhere to run. We get out another Bricks. We want to do a lockdown after they make the token. But yeah, this has not worked out. The opponent, they need to have one right card at the right time, and they need to draw their lands when they did. And it's gone so well for them to have the Affliction to hit the catch from us, so we couldn't keep up with their card advantage. I wonder what they're roping me for, though.
She went for, fam.